You've been waiting all quarter for this. You can hit it.
My name is Topher Benderson. I've come all the way from Barracuda, New Mexico, on the search to find the hashtag secret to sales. Hashtag secret to sales. Did you know you were gonna be an NFL player for the rest of your life, or what happened?
I never wanted to be an NFL player. I just eventually through college started to practice really hard, get noticed, and decided to play. But I knew it was time to hang up the cleats because there just wasn't as much stability. And it's kind of tough to have a job. You have to have your suitcase ready at any moment and just go.
I know what that's like.
Yeah?
The suitcase life.
High school.
Sure.
Where were you? What were you doing?
Went to high school here in California, ended up going to BYU, playing football, was a walk-on on the football team, figuring my life out.
How did you take some of the learnings from your football career and apply it to your professional career?
The biggest thing that I see being relevant to like my professional career in sales is finding that balance between like, yeah, we're a brotherhood and we care about each other and we want each other to succeed, but also I want to succeed. And so I need to beat you. There's competition, but it's healthy competition.
In Barracuda, I used to sell buffalo milk door to door in the desert. It's like Burning Man without any of the people.
Sounds epic.
It wasn't. I can imagine it's so powerful to have a team. What makes a great sales team?
Being able to share the different techniques that you have, get feedback from people, and get different ideas from different people and constantly get better at what you're looking to do.
Foosball is a lot like, it's a team sport, right?
Yep.
As your team scales, how do you think about growing and scaling your sales team?
One of the things that I've found really valuable, which kind of just happened by chance that we've done, is the SDR that I work with specifically is I'll give him coaching points on his discovery calls, just relative to the things that I'm going to be talking about once it gets passed over to me. So then I'll say, hey, at this point, these are some of the questions that I'm thinking of right now that I might ask in a discovery. We become way more aligned, and now he's getting in the habit of asking the questions that I would, so I'm way more prepared when I go into these calls as opposed to just having, a bulleted list of questions that he's getting the answers to.
Last week, I was preparing for one of the biggest meetings of my life. I, Topher Benderson, was meeting Mark Benioff at the tip of the Salesforce Tower. I didn't make it past the first door, but I can imagine that there are parallels between preparing for a big meeting and preparing for, stepping onto the football field.
There's a couple things, actually a few. The first one is preparing. So that's doing your research. In football, you watch a lot of film on the other team. You look at what the coach has been doing previously, try to understand their game plans. And then in sales, you probably did this for your meeting, but what you're doing is you're looking at people's LinkedIn, looking at their profiles, looking at where they've been, what their business is doing, the different spots where you can help their business, bring value. And then you watch film on yourself. That's the second point. I did a lot of film on myself, watching a lot of film. I use things like Gong, which really helped me go back and look at what I was doing, how I could succeed, how I can do better, and constantly improve to make my game better. And then you look at the third part, and that's practice, practice, practice.
In football, the biggest advantage that I saw that I could have was homework. That was mostly came down to just film, and that definitely comes into sales. You got to look at yourself to some degree and say, okay, what am I good at, what am I bad at, and look to improve.
No!